right, everybody, welcome in. Welcome to Wednesday. I hope you're doing great. Let's see where we go. Today in Heart Healing, we're going to be talking about healing your Chiron that is found in your personal astrology. It is your wounded healer. It is the thing you're here to heal and then share the information with the rest of us. That's one of the lights you're here to bring. So we're going to be talking about that today at 3:30. Pathfinders, bring your questions. Next year, Pathfinders, we're going to be talking about intuition. I'm going to be giving you tools and lessons all year long to help you hone your own intuitive sense. So now would be a good time to join Pathfinders if you haven't. All right, Pathfinders at 1 o'clock. Let's see where we go. Eastern time. Lucky pants. I feel lucky. I sure do. Water sign. You're dealing with a water sign, or maybe you're a water sign, or something about how you feel. All right, look at that. Water and earth. That is interesting because lucky is really like the Wheel of Fortune card. And water and earth, I could be talking to water and earth signs today, or I could be talking to how you feel and how you ground yourself. How you're experiencing your life. Maybe you're experiencing it as lucky pants. I know I do. So let's get into the reading and see what the reading will bring. The water feels like flow to me. Earth feels like groundedness and just being sort of centered. Lots of opportunities are showing up. And I feel like the universe is kind of saying to you, like, be in your heart, be grounded. Lots of good things are showing up. So let's see where we go today. One more, please. Keep shuffling. All right, what energy wants to show up today? Okay, keep shuffling. All right, there we go. Okay. The cards that are underneath are the things you may not see coming or are subconscious to the collective. The 10 of Wands. The 8 of Wands, look at that. Oh my goodness. The 10 of Cups, the 8 of Swords. Are you kidding me? The 3 of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles. Ha. Wheel of Fortune. So, interesting. I feel like the universe is trying to tell you a lot and you're really in your ego mind, or you're really thinking that it's going to take a lot of hard work to get where you want to go or something like that. But the universe is like, hey, knock, knock, knock. That ain't true. Some of you have your own mindset around love, that it's not possible. The 10 of Cups isn't possible for you. And that's blocking love. And some of you are settling for a partial abundance when complete abundance, unlimited abundance is here. So Wheel of Fortune, we are still in Sagittarian time just for today. And so it's like the parting message of Sagittarius is about aligning with lucky, aligning with opportunities that want to come in, bring them in, aligning with people who want to come toward us for love, let them in. Like, let's stop stopping ourselves from being happy. I almost feel like there's so much trying to come in. Look at all these 10s, and Wheel of Fortune is a 10 card. 3 10s. So what's missing? What 10 is missing? The 10 of Swords. And the 10 of Swords is some kind of ending, maybe a painful ending, or maybe a painful awareness that is blocking us from our abundance, from our happiness, from our joy, from our ability to have peace and ease. Let's see what wants to come in. 5 of Cups. Strength. I feel like it's letting go of some belief systems that we hold to be not only true, but they're like, this is the lens through which we see the whole world, the whole universe, everything that's going on. Are you glass half full, glass half empty? That's what perception is. Are you seeing what's going on as help and learning, or are you seeing what's going on as painful and difficult? Up to you. And there's a lot of subconscious programming. There's a lot of family programming, trauma. We've all dealt with a lot of things. And I just feel like an awareness of how that all works. And some of you are really focusing on your inadequacies or focusing on the lack of skill set, focusing on your inability to do what you want to do. Some of you are really focusing on loss. Okay, loss or lack. And that's what's needing to be transmuted. Queen of Cups. What's in your heart? There's the Nine of Swords. We got 8 of Swords, 9 of Swords. The Temperance card. Archangel Michael. Bringing it, baby. Bringing it. Knight of Cups. There's flow. Flow state. We've got fire, and then we've got water. Judgment. Here's the crossroads showing up. Look at that. 9 of Cups. You can choose. Yes. Whenever I say something and the Ace of Swords comes out, that's the truth. That's true dat. So like if you're choosing to be up in your head, anxious about everything, then you will see the world as dangerous and something to be feared. If you always see everything as sad, if you always see everything as loss, if you don't see like that closed door opens up new opportunities, if some of you are working too hard, pushing too hard, making too big of a thing of something, you're really ignoring your intuition. You're ignoring messages that want to come through to you. So I feel like the message here, we're going to talk about the Strength card and the Temperance card. So both of these cards are obviously Leo and Sag, but both of these cards are about allowing. Okay. Temperance energy is about a little of this, a little of that, making lemonade from lemons, viewing, and obviously Sagittarius is super optimistic, right? That's one of the high vibe parts of Sagittarius, is being able to see the silver lining in things, being able to see the positive side of everything, optimism. The Leo side here is about fun and joy and expansion. It's also about taming the inner beast. The inner beast is overthinking, anxiety, fear, all of these things that keep us from expressing happiness or joy or experiencing happiness and joy as a way of protecting ourselves. Okay, as a way of protecting ourselves. But it's a thief of joy, right? It robs us of joy to be constantly scanning the universe for things that are going to come and bite you in the ass. Like that is a survival mechanism that had its place and that has its place. But if you find yourself recognizing that you're always looking for when's the next shoe gonna drop, what's the catch, like if you're always finding yourself saying those things or doing those things, then you're looking for the loss in everything. You're looking for the shadow in everything, and as a result you're expressing through shadow. And it doesn't mean that there aren't predators out there. It doesn't mean that there aren't things around the next corner that we wished we'd prepared better for or something like that. But I feel like if you choose, we are now at a time on this planet where it is about choosing how to view events, understanding how we see things, perception, understanding our own family or our ancestral line, understanding what comes from growing up in a certain kind of house, understanding that contributes to our perception of how we're treated in the world or how we're experiencing the world or how the world is experiencing us. We just believe, if we're coming at it from a negative standpoint, from a standpoint of shadow, that everything's out to get us. What if for one day you were to see through the eyes of possibility? that lessons are meant to be positive. Lessons are meant to be about growth. That people who have faults and flaws, just like we do, make mistakes. That people who live in ego, if we're not really vibrating in that way, like we have egos, you can't live as a 3D human being without an ego. I got to tell you that. Like you wouldn't get out of bed without it. You don't have to live in the shadow side of it, though. You can live in the personality that you've created. That's all of these things, all of your experiences, your familial and ancestral lineage, what you've experienced and how it's reinforced or crushed beliefs that you have. And I feel like it's sort of like if we want to live a life like this Nine of Cups, connected to our intuition, always knowing what our compass is, knowing where we're going, unlimited abundance. Doesn't mean that there's no problems, situations, circumstances that you might rather not experience. No, it doesn't mean that at all. Those are there for your growth. That's what you're doing here. There's no such thing as a life without ripples. There's no such thing. A life without hiccups or bumps or trauma. There's really no such thing. And once you kind of embrace that, there's a sense of like, I'm going to look through the lens of love. I'm going to look through this Queen of Cups and this Knight of Cups lens of love. I'm going to look and see everything. That makes you powerful. Do you see when things are not the way you wish they were? Do you see when there's sadness and death and loss and all of those things? But that's a lesson for compassion. That's a lesson for compassion. Instead of resisting it. To every man upon this earth, death comes sooner or late. So there's definitely a sense here of see it. You don't have to be it. See things that are going on in relationships, in your work, in how you experience the world, and choose. Choose the lens. Choose the lens. I'm going to see this I'm going to feel sad about this. I'm going to see it as I feel sad because I'm losing somebody who meant a lot to me. And that's a gift. It's a gift. I'm choosing to see this situation of job loss or career collapse or something like that as a clearing of the way. Yeah, you're gonna have to like deal with it, handle it, but you can do it because you've done it before. Start saying that to yourself. I can do this. I can do this. And that's what's really required here, because I feel like there's a crossroads coming, and it could be Pluto moving into Aquarius in the early part of January 20th, not the early part, January 20th. It can be that it's illuminating, this full moon in Cancer is being illuminated. So we're about releasing things that are no longer part of what we're creating. We've learned, we've incorporated the lesson. Thank you very much. Away we go, onward. So what truths are coming through for you? What truths need to be sort of looked at in a 360-degree way instead of just one way, instead of just like, this is bad, this is good. Like, train yourself to expand your vocabulary as it relates to experiences that you have. Bad, good. Okay, that's where you can start. But like, tremendous, wonderful, expansive, limiting, selfish. Like, start to expand your vocabulary around what is happening for you. So this might be a very 3D kind of anchored person, water and fire and earth. This might be a very 3D anchored person, and it's about transmuting your spirituality with your 3D experience, because that's what is sort of like a through line or a thread or a like a in a show. You know how they have this like reprise, there's like a song or a kind of music that kind of threads its way through the whole show or through the whole film, and that's skillfully done to keep you in the energy of what's happening in that movie or in that show. It's skillfully done to kind of bring you along, to track you along. So you have your own frequency, you have your own melody, you have your own song. And it's always about coming back to that song that is a thread through your whole life, because you're the thread through your whole life. You're the one who's experienced all of it. You're the common denominator here. Okay? So I feel like there is a crossroads coming here. I just saw 9 of Cups again. A crossroads coming. And talk to me about that Judgment card, that crossroads coming. Strength card, again. 10 of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles. Temperance. Have you seen that planting the seeds? This is a very physical, a lot of I mean, we're talking about this from the lens of a very spiritual kind of way of doing life. We're talking about this from that perspective. But that's kind of like what you guys are doing, right? Like, you're here watching this tarot reading. You're part of my Pathfinder group or whatever. You have a 3D life. You have a family. You have a a set of friends. You have your work. You have your art. You have your community. You have your neighborhood. You have your parents. You have your children. Whatever. And the through line is you. The through line of this is you. And so it's sort of like, what are you going to choose? Are you going to choose to be this way? Not seeing, head down, don't believe in anything. Everything is terrible. Everything is awesome, right? Like, what is it? And I feel like we're being given that experience in this crossroads at the end of this Sagittarian time. And as we move into Capricorn, a very 3D kind of experience, the earth energy here, and water flowing here. This is about lighting fire to that. This is about becoming on fire or becoming like who you are. You've planted a lot of seeds. You've planted a lot of seeds. This crossroads is here to show you what you've grown. What kind of seeds have you planted? Are they negative or are they positive? This Temperance card is all about a lens, right? This is Archangel Michael. This is protective energy. This is also about optimistic energy. It's about adventurous energy. It's about a little of this, a little of that, right? With the 2 cups there. A little of this, a little of that. At the end of every calendar year, there's a lot of talk about New Year's resolutions. And there's a lot of jokes about how they're abandoned within the first few weeks of the year. But what if this year your focus was about what I've just been talking about? How do I stay aligned? How do I experience what's going on for me? How do I transmute this into wisdom in order to stop repeating the same things over and over again? in order to advance, in order to grow exponentially, in order to take sort of quantum leaps. Because that's what we're doing when we're talking about learning about our intuition. We're talking about seeing what's going on, learning the lessons and using it and transmuting that into wisdom so we don't have to do it again. How many of you, me too, how many of us have repeated the same lesson over and over again because we don't want it? We don't want to even look at it. We don't want it to be part of our experience. There's shame involved, right? There's a feeling of inadequacy, especially if we, fall for the same gag over and over again. Universe talking here. If you fall for the same thing over and over again. Because it takes strength, it takes courage to look at those things closely and be like a little grateful for them. Like thank you to those amazing teachers who were difficult love relationships. Thank you to those amazing teachers, the ones who fired me, the ones who made fun of me, the ones who laughed at me, the ones who called me stupid, the ones who called me naive. Like all those experiences have, kind of conspired to create who you are. And the shutting down of any kind of incorporating that information or transmuting that energy is the one thing that's keeping you from the manifestation you want to create. So let's create together. 9 of Cups and Ace of Swords. Let's create from an optimistic position and really see things and really incorporate them and really learn, really gain guidance from them. So let's keep going. I'm going to pull cards for some guidance for each zodiac sign in the extended. We'll see where we're going with this 9 of Cups and Ace of Swords. This is what you're creating. So let's see what wants to come through for guidance, okay? Link is below. Pathfinders, if you want to continue on with me. Of course, Pathfinders, we just keep going. But if you are not a Pathfinder, there's a link below, and I'll see you over there. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.